The Sixers reportedly have interest in one top trade target, but does the fit make sense with this team? We'll break it all down here on Philly Take with RB.
Perfect.
What is up, everybody? RB here. Welcome into the show. You know the drill by now. Hit the like button if you enjoy the content. Be sure to subscribe and ring the bell so you don't miss any of the coverage. Today we're back and we need to get into one specific trade target. The guy's name has been floating around, and especially with how his team has been performing, people think that he is going to get moved at the deadline. Apparently the Sixers have interest, and the guy is Dejounte Murray. Now, this was put out by Chris Haynes a couple days ago. He said the Sixers have inquired about the availability of Dejounte Murray. He did not say that he is, the top trade target for the Sixers. He just said that the Sixers and the Lakers and some other teams and GMs have called the Atlanta Hawks about his availability. Based on how the Hawks are playing, they look like, once again, a team that's just going to bottom out and not really do anything this year. The question is, should they try to make a trade to pair him with Tyrese Maxey? Do you think that fit is good? Give me your thoughts down below. We put a YouTube community poll out asking the same question. 69% of the fans say yes, this would be a good trade for the Sixers, but 31% say no. So give me all your thoughts. And before we jump into all of mine and break it down, a shout out to our sponsor of today's video. Shout out to the sponsor of today's video, Southern New Hampshire University. It is 2024, and with a new year comes new goals. If one of your goals this year involves going to college, then I have the perfect opportunity for you. SNHU allows you to turn passion for sports into a degree with their online sports management program. You'll get to learn about the business and economics of sports, sports management principles, and how to gather and analyze data. This degree can help you prepare for a career as an athletic director, sports information director, marketing manager, and even other exciting roles in the industry. You'll get to tap into SNHU's network of grads working in sports-related organizations. You'll even get to take advantage of an internship or experiential learning course within the field. SNHU has one of the largest accredited nonprofit online degrees in the country. They are radically affordable, and their online tuition rates are some of the lowest in the nation. So go down to the description right now of this video, click the link, go to snhu.edu/PhillyTake to request free info about the program and start your new year off on the right path. Upon request, a real person will even hop on a call with you to discuss how the program can benefit you personally. Once again, check it out. Click the link down below, snhu.edu/PhillyTake. All right, man, let's jump into it. So Dejounte Murray, as we know, is a young, skilled player, on a very good contract, and the fit with Trae Young has just not been there. It has not worked out like everybody thought it would. The Hawks are, once again, just kind of evening out here in the middle of the season or getting towards the middle of the season. And Dejounte Murray's still having a good year, but the question is, would he put this Sixers team over the top? Let's start with how I feel about this trade. I think it would provide benefit to the Sixers, but my thing is all about opportunity costs. If you go out and spend a ton of assets on Dejounte Murray, will you then have no more assets to go out and improve this team, right? Are you going to end up giving up several firsts, etc., to get Dejounte Murray in here and then not be able to upgrade, say, the forward position? I think that would be a no-no. I don't think that is a good trade at all, because I don't know if Dejounte Murray with Maxey and Embiid is ready to put this team over the top right now. Let's look at Dejounte Murray's stats. So this year, he's having a good year. He's averaging almost 21 points per game. He's averaging 5 assists, 4.5 rebounds, and he is having the best shooting year of his career, almost, other than his rookie year, at around 39% from three, and he's shooting 83%, give or take, from the line, and 46% from the field. So still having a pretty good year, but I have one really big issue with the fit as it relates to Dejounte Murray, and it's actually one of the reasons I do not think the Hawks are performing well, and that has to do with the defensive side of the ball. Would Dejounte Murray be able to hold his own next to Tyrese Maxey? Would they be able to defend some of these bigger guards on other teams? I think when you look at a guy like Trae Young, obviously he's better than Tyrese Maxey, and he's a prolific scorer and really is looked at as a game changer. But when you put Dejounte Murray next to Trae Young, they just can't really defend teams in the backcourt. Now, here's Dejounte Murray's contract. Like I said, it's a very good contract, okay? This is his upcoming 4-year extension that has not even kicked in yet. Here's what he's on right now, $17.7 million this year. He had a 4-year, $64 million contract, and this is the last year of that, but he's already inked in to $25 million, $26.7, $28.7, and $30. That is a very, very beneficial contract, especially when you look at the CBA and how teams are going to have to pay players going forward. But like I said, on the defensive side of the ball, Dejounte Murray has been a liability this year. In his rookie year, and pay attention to how this has progressed, all right? He had a 105 defensive rating back in 2016 with the Spurs. And then look at how it's progressed throughout his career. He had a 101, which is really, really good, near the top. Then 109, 110, 108, 116, and this year a 122 defensive rating, which is in the lower percentile as it relates to guards. Dejounte Murray, at times, has not been good at all defensively. He hasn't been locked in, and maybe part of that is to do with the Hawks culture and the way that they're not winning yet again, and maybe he just doesn't feel like the fit is right, etc. But the Hawks went out and spent really good assets to get Dejounte Murray's on a very beneficial contract, and right now I don't know if he's an upgrade on the defensive side of the ball. I will tell you, though, how this trade makes perfect sense if the Sixers could land another piece as well. But I want to go to an article written by Jake Fisher, and here's what he had to say. Jake Fisher of Yahoo Sports. This is on All Hawks FN website. Jake Fisher says, quote, "The premier point guard on the market before the February 8th trade deadline may be Dejounte Murray, a former All-Star who the Hawks have made widely available 2 years after trading 3 first-round picks to get Murray from San Antonio. There are questions about whether Murray's fit would be ideal next to another ball-dominant lead like Jalen Brunson, as Murray's pairing with Hawks All-Star Trae Young has not brought dividends that Atlanta once imagined. His 4-year, $114 million extension, which we just looked at, begins this next year, and it does make him an intriguing trade target for teams with backcourt questions. We'll see how preemptively front offices move this winter before harsher tax penalties kick into effect as part of the NBA's new CBA. Future picks and value contracts like Murray's might become greater trade commodities than league personnel anticipated." So teams may be very interested, and you also have to think about the fit from the Hawks. What are they trying to do? Are the Hawks ready to maybe blow it up and say, okay, let's take a step back before we keep trying to go forward and maybe go out and get draft picks and, let's say, expiring salaries so we can really make our team better? If that is their mindset, then I think a trade could happen, because we look at the Hawks, right? Who is performing well on their team? Who else do they have that they could really shed and try to bring in more expiring deals? Say like a Tobias Harris, who would, bring a different element to their team, expire at the end of the year. They get $40 million in cap space and maybe a couple first attached with it. I'm looking at Bogdan Bogdanović, and his name has been floating around as well as another trade target. He's averaging 17.7 points per game. He's also shooting 37.3% from deep. He's usually around the 40% clip, and I think that would improve on a team like the Sixers. Bogdanović may be a better fit. He may be another shooter, even a guy you can bring off the bench that would help improve this team. If you could say land Dejounte Murray and Bogdan Bogdanović, or let's say DeAndre Hunter, I don't know if the Hawks will want to part with him, but maybe they want to get Saddiq Bey more involved, or maybe they want to part with Saddiq Bey. If you could get one of these other pieces attached to a Dejounte Murray trade, then I actually might be all in for it, because I think a combo of Murray and Bogdanović, for example, would be so much better than what the Sixers are getting out of some of these guys. Maybe the Sixers are ready to move off Tobias, and maybe the Hawks would take him again and let some salary expire at the end of the year. That's if they don't think they have any chance of competing. If they do think they can retool at the deadline and say, go, make the playoffs this year and be a competitive team, they may go trade with a team like the Lakers. But if they want to go the route that I just mentioned before, I think the Sixers would actually be a really good trade partner. We've heard about Tobias rumors before with the Atlanta Hawks. And, you look at some of these guys, for example, the salaries would work out perfectly. Dejounte Murray making $18 million this year, Bogdanović making 18, DeAndre Hunter making 20. That's almost an exact match to Tobias Harris, who's making $40 million this year. And I think the numbers would actually line up pretty well, as long as the Sixers would, have to go ahead and say attach 2-3 first-round picks. At the end of the day, I don't know if it's worth it, but I know that the Sixers are going to need an upgrade. And when you look at everything in totality, the Hawks are not going to be a competitive team unless they somehow make a huge change here. And the Sixers do need a piece. We have seen that the last couple days. So the question is, will they be able to go out and not spend all of their assets unless they are getting like a combination deal here from the Atlanta Hawks. I think Dejounte Murray would provide an upgrade to what the Sixers have at certain positions. But again, I'm also concerned with the fit if it's just Dejounte Murray. I mean, at that point, you'd probably actually have to let Murray play the point, whereas Maxey would move back to that combo guard position and be more of a natural 2, right? He'd be a 1 and a 2, and you could either go that route. Actually, you could even have Dejounte Murray starting and then kind of staggering with the bench throughout the entire game. I could see Nick Nurse trying to be creative and do something like that as well. So again, I think Murray is a valuable player, but I still think the Sixers, though, need another upgrade at the forward position. That's why I've been saying my top trade target should be Lauri Markkanen, and we saw what he did to the Sixers last night when going absolutely berserk. That was a front row audition for Daryl Morey and the Sixers, right? They're looking at Lauri Markkanen torching this team. Thing is, I don't know if the Jazz are willing to part with their players. Even Clarkson was a microwave off the bench last night. So we'll see how it goes. But the fact that the Sixers have at least inquired about the availability of Dejounte Murray shows that they're probably gearing up to make some type of move at the deadline. But as Daryl Morey said previously, he's not going to rush into a deal. He's going to wait for the right one. Question is this the right one? Give me all your thoughts down below in the comments section. As always, appreciate everybody for tuning in. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. That being said, I will catch you all on the next one. Peace.